If you liked the video, don't forget to leave your like, turn on the notification bell and subscribe to the personal channel. Real Madrid history, 10 facts you might not know. From the relationship with Corinthians to the balanced retrospect against Brazilian teams, learn more about the history of Real Madrid. Greatest Champions League champion of all time, shot. One of the most valuable and winning teams in the world. Where stars like Di Stefano, Zidane and Cristiano Ronaldo became legends. Real Madrid's history has all of that, as well as other things that not everyone remembers. In 2020, the Merengue team won the Spanish championship for the 34th time. In fact, there are so many titles that fans even lose count. More than titles, the history of Real Madrid is full of curious facts over its 118 years, and we separate some of them below. 1. Brother of the Corinthians. Founded in 1902 by a group of young people from Madrid who had recently arrived from England to practice the sport, Madrid Football Club was inspired by a well-known team among Brazilians when it came to choosing the crest and the color of the shirt. The first uniform was created from the white shirt worn by Corinthian FC, an amateur club in London that would also serve as inspiration for Sport Club Corinthians Paulista, founded 8 years later in São Paulo. 2. Merengues or Vikings. Right at the beginning of Real Madrid's history, sports writers associated the white of the shirt with the color of the meringue, a dessert much appreciated there. Thus, they started to call the team Merengues. Later, in 1960, the nickname Vikings would also appear. After all, after beating Frankfurt in the Continental Final by 7-3, an English newspaper compared the rout to a Viking invasion. 3. Papa Champions. Real Madrid won no less than the first 5 editions of the Champions League, between 1956 and 1960. Consequently, it became the biggest winner in the history of the competition, with 13 titles, shot ahead of Milan, in second place with 7 cups. After all, in the 2000s alone, 5 more came to conquer. 4. First idol was Argentine. The cycle of victories in Real Madrid's history only began after the arrival of Argentine Alfredo Di Stefano. After excelling at River Plate and passing through Millonarios in Colombia, he becomes a goal machine in Madrid. Before him, the team from the Spanish capital was not even among the greatest national champions. After him, everything changed quickly. In Di Stefano's first season in Spain, in 1953, Real Madrid broke a 20-year drought without winning the Spanish title. The Argentine was the league's top scorer with 29 goals. And it was just the beginning. 5. Relationship with the dictatorship. The signing of Di Stefano has to do with the main controversy in the history of Real Madrid, the alleged relationship with the dictatorship of General Francisco Franco. The Argentine was agreed with Barcelona, but ended up at Real Madrid after the Spanish Federation intervened in the negotiation. This would have been just one of the suspicions of General Franco favoring the Merengue team, and it was the trigger for the rivalry with Barcelona. After all, the Catalonia team was based in the territory of greatest opposition to the regime. There is even a documentary, called A Lenda Negra de Gloria Branca, which details Real Madrid's relationship with the dictatorship and argues that Francoism even interfered in arbitration to favor the Merengues, in order to use them as international propaganda. 6. Rivalry with Barca. That's how a club from another city ended up becoming the biggest arch-rival in Real Madrid's history. For reasons more political than sporting, Barcelona emerged as the Merengues' main antagonist. And it all started 10 years before the controversy with Di Stefano. In 1943, Real Madrid beat Barcelona 11-1 after representatives of the Franco government allegedly paid a little visit to the Catalan locker room. 7. Change of stadium. In less than 3 years of work, the modest Chamartin Stadium, with 25,000 seats, gave way to the imposing Santiago Bernabéu, inaugurated in 1947 with a capacity for 75,000 fans. 10 years later, the arena debuted its night lighting in a friendly game against Sport Recife, won by the home team 5-3. 8. European drought. The interval between 1966 and 1998 represents a hole in the history of Real Madrid in the Champions League. It was 32 years of continental fasting, despite attending the competition year after year. During all this time, the Merengues made only one final, in 1981, and lost to Liverpool. Redemption came at the feet of Predrag Mijatovic, scorer of Zidane's winning goal against Juventus in the 1998 final. 9. Galactic Era. 3 years after losing the European final to Real Madrid, Zinedine Zidane ended up joining the famous Galacticos squad in the early 2000s. Who were already there, like Roberto Carlos and Raúl González. But not only Galactics lives the merengue team. Throughout the history of Real Madrid, some Brazilian stars have made history there. This is the case, for example, with names like Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, Marcelo and Casemiro. Others, however, were not missed. Did you know that Rodrigo Fabri already wore the merengue shirt? Striker Willian José too, as well as Pablo, from São Paulo, and Lucas Silva, today at Grêmio. 10. Difficulty against Brazilians. Anyone who thinks that the Merengues have an easy life against teams from here is wrong. In the history of Real Madrid, there were 39 clashes against Brazilian clubs, and the retrospect is balanced, 16 wins, 10 draws and 13 defeats. The last duel was the 2017 Club World Cup final against Grêmio, won 1-0 with a free kick by Cristiano Ronaldo. But there are other clubs in Brazil that have fond memories of Real Madrid. This is the case of Corinthians, who put on a show in the 2-2 tie in the 2000 Club World Cup title campaign. Flamengo, Santos, São Paulo, Fluminense, Palmeiras and Vasco are among the Brazilian teams that have already defeated the Spanish team.